What's going on, guys? Jacobrdoty here. We're back for the second day of the bag install. John is back over here. So we're gonna go ahead and knock this out. We have it up on all 4 jack stands now. Gonna pop off the wheels, start running some lines. Just so you guys know, in case you missed last video, we stopped basically here. We got some fabric to wrap this piece of wood to make it look OEM fresh. And then we're gonna mount everything, start plugging it in, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we're gonna have our first air out today. Quick little update, we're running some airline now, have all of the electronics pretty much zip tied together. But now what I'm gonna do is go ahead and run the airline, zip tie it to that line too. Over here on John's side, we have the air compressor nice and mounted. We might change up the little bit of the hardware that's being used, but this is where it's all gonna go. And then the tank will be here. You can kind of see his marks of where the bracket's gonna be. This is even nice and cut out, and we're gonna make sure that this sits flat. While he was away, he also picked up some of this carpet. So we're gonna wrap this, give it an OEM look, and this thing is gonna be absolutely perfect. Here's what the lines are looking like on the inside. Again, I just need to zip tie the airline to this whole bundle, but it's going in there just the same. And then right here under the passenger fender, there's this little nub that you can clip, and that's where I'm gonna run the line. I have it a little long right now, so that way it'll connect to the leader line, but we'll get final trimmings and stuff like that whenever we're getting closer. We already have the right side done here, as you can kind of see, kind of tied into the subwoofer red line. But now I'm gonna kind of piggyback on this line and go over there. So running it all the way through the interior. Got the interior panels off right there, running it through the back. Obviously that's gonna be cleaned up. It'll go along this door sill right here, and it's gonna go up through the kick panel, and over here it'll go right through the fender, which I'll show you what you have to do. So now we're under the driver fender. I took out the fender liner right here, just a couple screws and pulls. And then now we're looking at the firewall grommet. This little nipple right here is perfect. There's nothing going through it. So you take a pair of dikes, pretty much just snip that nipple, which I can't do right now. There we go. There we go. So you snip that, and then the airline will come right through there, and then we'll have it go into the leader line, which will go into the strut right here. That's pretty much it. We're starting to get bagged, baby.
All right, so we got our panel where the compressor and the air tank is gonna sit. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it. These are the tools that I'm using. See how it comes out.
So checking out what John's up to here. Stapling in here, I kind of helped him stretch this. This stuff is really easy to work with. We're gonna have to cut a hole obviously and stretch it around this way as well, but now he's just trimming up. We just put staples, have a buddy kind of hold it for you. This thing, hold on, I'm gonna flip it real quick. This thing's about to be looking pro. Look at those edges. Ooh, when this is all gone through, it's gonna be perfect. So here's what we're looking like. This is that panel, nice and wrapped. Took maybe 20 minutes to do. This is just that OEM looking touch. This was the carpet that we chose. It looks the most like the interior carpet that's on the Mustang. So we're gonna go ahead and test fit it. Professional, we're gonna mount everything up now. Maybe have to go get some more hardware, but making sure it's doing it all right. On the inside, I already have the interior panel done. So the airline is going up under there. It's under here. I just have to clean that little scuff, but it goes all under here, and it's right here, zip tied to a factory line underneath the seat. So should be no issues. Right here's that airline. Making it all OEM looking where it looks like nothing ever happened. Go ahead and try to keep working on this. Put on that side panel and just keep moving. So I have the interior all put back together. Got everything all buttoned up. All the side panels are on, and the seat. The only cable you're gonna see is this one right here. That's to the remote, which I'll just kind of stow right there for now until I come up with something custom, but that's all very easy. It's a USB cable. So this is all coming together. Everything looks good. Now we're gonna actually start on the suspension, and John's gonna take care of the front. I'm gonna go ahead and try to take care of the rear. We have the impacts, so should make it pretty quick. But other than that, it'll just be plug and play and run some lines and plug stuff in. So pretty excited, we're getting close. We have this one all done now. We have the airlift strut back there, but not the bag. We still have to do the drilling. So we're just cleaning everything up. There's one of the front bags. John actually pretty much installed this bag himself. Now we have the airlift in link in there. So we're just gonna go ahead and call it quits real quick and go grab some supplies. We need hardware to mount the air tank, and we also need to get some food. But things are moving along. Things are rocking and rolling here. We got John drilling. Under here, I have the leader line loosely zip tied to this line right here, and it's plugged in. Make sure these cuts are straight. Use the cutting tool right here and verify that they're straight. That could cause leaks if they're like slanted or anything. These 2 bolts are pretty tight. We'll obviously have to torque those down. We'll have to torque these down, but both front struts are in and linked up to lines. In the rear, we have the tank mounted. We have the carpet there. We have the compressor there. I have lines all ran. The front lines are actually plugged into the manifold, as you can see. Also have the Schrader drain valve and all that stuff. So We're just waiting on the rear lines and then wiring up the compressor and plugging into the management. And then obviously we have to install the rear bags, but the rear struts are already in there. So we're pretty much just dangling and the rears are what we're waiting on. Moving along, John is tightening everything down, making sure it's all nice and torqued. We have everything lined up and all nice and wired. Garrett helped me out with some of the wiring. So now what we're going to do is show you guys what we have going on under here. This will all be hidden, have all the lines hooked up. They're zip tied, nice and clean throughout. The lines are nice and heat shrunk on for the compressor. Everything is fitted. We have some filler screws right here, which are just like they block it off. Now I think it's time to go ahead and connect the battery, do a quick test, make sure everything's working. The tank fills with pressure. There's no big leaks that we can hear. And that will happen before we put on the wheels and put it on the ground, because obviously if we have issues, then that's gonna be another problem. So now we have the battery connected, the power, ground, everything's wired. It didn't turn on automatically, so it seems like we might have a good fuse to add on, or to add a fuse. We'll go ahead and turn the key, start the car, and we'll see if the compressor starts airing up the tank. There it goes. 46 PSI, it's going up pretty good. I can't wait to hit the button and make it go tss. Turn off my flashlight, I've had that on. It's been a while since we picked up the camera, but we ran into a little troubleshooting. The front's working just fine. We get into the rear, it was not airing out, even with zero pressure on the 3P remote. It still was not airing out. We looked under here and we found this, which is a kink. You definitely don't want a kink in there. This is from not lining up that hole that you had to drill perfectly and having way too much slack in there. So we're gonna go ahead and fix that up, and I think we'll be really good to go. Right now, as you can see, we have it finally aired out. That's because we had to empty the entire tank. We had to empty the bags. We had to fix those kinked lines that I showed you. It's loading up with some air pressure. As you can see, it's going up now, and we're doing the calibration. My buddy Matt, he said, he's the one with the bagged S550, the white one. He said to just empty everything and have the calibration ran at basically aired out. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. I did a factory reset, unplugged the manifold just to reset everything, and yeah, we're gonna see if this works, and hopefully the rear will air out. The biggest issue we're having was the rear was not, it would say 0 on the controller, but it wouldn't actually air out. It was still up in the air. So I think that's because of the kinked lines. Maybe you know how quiet it is with the compressor? Oh yeah, let them listen to the compressor. That thing's quiet. That compressor, everything is, it's compressing air right now, and you can barely hear it. You can barely hear it over the exhaust. Now it's doing the rear. Did it air out? Did it air out the rear? Yeah, it's finally working. It didn't do that before it got stuck. That's the back popping.
Yeah. Bro, it looks so good.
And right there, boys and girls, is the first air out. That thing is slammed. Sorry it's so dark out, but you know what? I just had to get it done. We finally fixed the rear. It's sitting on the meaty 305. The controller's working, everything's working. I think we're gonna have to air up a little bit and go take it for a test drive. Just filled it up with a little bit of gas. This is the first public air out. She's all nice and dusty, but this is completely bagged. I wanna shout out to John. I wanna shout out to Brandon, Matt, Garrett. You guys all helped put this thing together and troubleshoot it. So I really appreciate you guys. So we worked 2 days in the garage, got this thing done, and now it's fully done. So I'm super happy, everything is dialed in. Of course, there'll be a little tweaks here and there. I gotta get an alignment and everything, but I'm really happy with how it's looking. So yeah, just like that, it only took 2 days, but we got the car bagged. I'm gonna go ahead and end the vlog right here. Of course, there'll be more videos to come with the bagged Mustang. So if you guys enjoyed, then please comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.